What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another video. It's a pleasure to have you guys here today. I'm really happy to have you guys tune in and listen to this message that I have for all of you. Today's topic is having a sense of urgency in the world that we live in today, right? We all know that the world we live in is chaotic, it's crazy, but I want all of you to know that that has been a common theme for the world that we've lived in forever, right? Nothing's changed, nothing's different, right? We live in a tough economic time. We live in, times of struggle, right? But that's just like any other age, right? At the end of the day, perception is reality. And so however you view particular things, whether it be things in the world, obstacles, good or bad, this and that, you are ultimately the person that can depict and create your reality with a snap of a finger, in my opinion. And that gives you a lot of power. That gives you a lot of capability to really achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. And so I want to talk about this idea of having a sense of urgency, because it's been something that I have consistently pursued and consistently tried to make a staple within my life. And it has rendered great service to me in any regard of my life, whether it be my business life, whether it means spending more time with family, spending more time with friends, being around people that love me, being around people that care about me, so on and so forth. And I know all of you have those things, right? I know sometimes it feels like we don't have those things. We don't have good things in our life. Everything's kind of going to shit. I get it. I've been there too. But I really want to resonate with you guys and tell you that you all have someone that loves you. You all have someone that cares about you. And you can really achieve anything that you put your mind to. Having an idea and a capability of having a sense of urgency when it comes down to your life is very powerful, because what that does for you is it ultimately propels you, motivates you, and pushes you towards the goals that you want to achieve. And having a sense of urgency is something that a lot of people lack nowadays. And the reason why people lack it is, in my frank opinion, I believe people have become very soft. I think they have become very reliant on external forces that really don't dictate their life in any other way than how much that individual allows it to, right? So external forces, external circumstances only affect us to some varying degree, right? And that varying degree is how much we allow it to affect us. And so a lot of people today have allowed external forces, whether it be the economy, whether it be their financial situation, whether it be the president of the United States, I don't care what it is, guys. The excuses that you make, the excuses that you come up with are not serving you in any way. And ultimately what that has caused people to become is very soft. It's caused people to become very moldable and very vulnerable in this world that we live in today. How this ties in with the idea of having a sense of urgency is that if you have a sense of urgency and you have a willingness and a want to actually achieve the goals that you have set for yourself and to change the world that is around you and to change your reality as a whole, it comes with a sense of urgency, and it comes with a knowingness that we have this small interval of time. Okay, we have this very, very finite amount of time. And a lot of us act as though we have all the time in the world, and myself included. I'm not excluding myself from any of you. I've been in that position where I believe, or I have this perception that, I've got all this time, but the reality is that we don't. And so the reason why sense of urgency comes into play and is so important is because of the fact that having a sense of urgency allows you to wake up every morning and know that you only have so much time to achieve the goals that you want and to actually acquire the desires that you wish for. And so knowing that we only have this short interval of time and that we've literally won the fucking lottery of the universe should give you a sense of, I need to achieve the goals that I have set for myself, because I am doing not only myself a disservice, but the world that I live in a disservice. And this is not to make you all nervous. This is not to make you anxious. This is not to make you feel negative emotions in any way, as though you're not doing enough. It's okay. I give you grace, and the world will give you grace. It's okay, right? Because I too have been there. I too have been in a situation where I didn't have a sense of urgency. I didn't have a desire to achieve the goals I had, because I didn't have this construct of time. I didn't have this idea that we really don't have a lot of time, guys. And the reality is that every day that you waste, every opportunity that you give up, getting you farther away from your goals. And again, that isn't to scare you, but this is almost a video to enlighten you and awaken you to the new possibilities, to the new opportunities that will present themselves, because God will constantly be doing that for you. God will constantly, the higher power, whatever you frame it as, I don't care, right? If you're not religious, it doesn't matter. The whole ideology behind this video is that there will be opportunities presented to you. There will be circumstances given to you by the grace of whatever you believe in, so you can take advantage of it and achieve your goals. And you have to understand, though, that those opportunities and those experiences only come at certain times in life. And there are only so many that are given to you within this time, because once again, we die and we're just part of the universe again. We just disappear. This is not to scare you. This is not to, make you fearful of the future, but it's to enlighten you. It's to motivate you. It's to light you up for what it is that you can ultimately achieve. Because I've noticed with constructing this idea in my head that I only have so much time to achieve the goals that I want, it has given me not only a purpose and a fulfillment to achieve, but it has ultimately made my life better. Why? Because I wake up every morning knowing there is something greater than myself that I'm pursuing. My goal is to retire my parents. And I know I only have such an X amount of time to be able to do that. My parents will die someday. I will die someday. And that's a scary thought from time to time. But when you come to reality and you come to conclusions that we have this amount of time and it's a beautiful thing, and you start to shift the paradigm and realize that because we only have so much time, we need to take advantage of it, you start to get more done in your day. You start to realize that the goals that you set for yourself start to get achieved. And you start to realize very quickly that you become a different person in the process. This idea of sense of urgency hits all bases. It hits all facets of life because it allows you to not only wake up with purpose, not only to wake up with fulfillment, but it gives you an actual perspective of what the world is that we live in. Once again, we feel like this time is infinite, right? And we treat it with very little gratitude. We treat it with very little grace, right? We waste it. We watch porn, we scroll on social media, we play video games, we fuck around. Listen, if you love doing those things, that's great. But understand there's always a trade-off. There's always something that you are sacrificing in that moment to do that particular thing. Whether it be your time, your energy, right? Those are very valuable things. And I argue they're the most valuable things in this world, right? Not even close to money, right? Your time is so much more valuable than any monetary gain that you could possibly acquire. When we realize this, your life becomes better because you start to make the right trade-offs. You start to realize that it is not in your best interest to scroll on social media, but it is in your best interest to pursue the dreams that you want, right? To set yourself goals, right? To move in the direction that will ultimately propel you where you want to go in this life. And really it comes down to sitting with yourself and asking yourself, what is it that I want? What do I want to be? Who do I want to be around? And going through those facets in your life and being okay with being alone for a little bit and asking yourself these deep questions. Because I know it's scary. I know it's tough. I've been there. I felt that on a very deep level. But it was something that was necessary for me to be able to achieve the goals that I've set for myself. And once again, guys, everything is a trade-off. You have to realize that you're trading your time for a particular thing that you're investing into. And so if you're not getting the ROI, right? If you're not getting a good return on your investment with the time that you're putting towards something, it's not worth it. Right? Whether that be bad friends or bad family or bad movies or bad video games or bad porn, whatever, like these things aren't worth your time, guys. And the quicker you realize that, the quicker you'll get to your goals. I know at times it feels like we're not making progress, but you have to really be introspective here and look at yourself and ask yourself, why am I not getting closer to my goals? Because you see other individuals that do get closer to their goals, right? And you quite simply could just replicate what it is that they're doing. And I promise you, they're not doing what you're doing, right? If you're not getting closer to your goals, they're not doing what you're doing because they're getting closer to their goals. But there's a reason for that. There's a formula to why they're doing that. And you can replicate that. You can do that, right? And I believe in all of you. I really, truly believe that everybody watching this video has the capability of changing their life if they just realize that the trade-offs that they're making aren't conducive and aren't, complementing the life that they want. And so as a direct result, you need to just switch it. You need to do the exact opposite. So ask yourself, what is it that I don't want, right? What do I not want to be in 50 years, right? I don't want to be poor, right? I don't want to be lonely, right? I don't want to be this, I don't want to be that. Like, ask yourself, what is it that you don't want? And then from there, it's going to be a lot easier to figure out what it is that you want, right? We sometimes put the cart before the horse and at times think about all these things that we want, but sometimes it's not really clear to us. It's not really evident to us what it is that we actually want, right? But a very quick and easy way to be able to do that I encourage all of you to do is ask yourself, what is it that you don't want? Because what that's going to do is it's going to give you an idea of where to go from there. It's going to allow you to go, okay, if this is what I don't want, I'm just going to do the exact fucking opposite. And you'll realize very quickly that's a very, very, very effective way of being able to achieve your goals. This isn't to be wordy. This isn't to be derogatory. This isn't to be rude. This isn't to be mean. This is simply the truth. And I want to convey nothing but the truth here. And the truth is that all of you need to have a sense of urgency. All of you need to know that you will die someday. And that's a very, very scary thought for a lot of people. And it was for me for a long time. And it still is in the back of my head a scary thought. But guys, if you flip it on its head and you look at it as a beautiful thing, knowing that you only have so much time, you start to value it more. right? Things are valuable because it's scarce. Things are valuable because there's only so much of it, right? Gold is valuable. Bitcoin is valuable. Why? It's not because there's a million supply of it. It's very finite. It's very small. And so as a result, we human beings value those things more. And so when you start taking your time more seriously and you realize how little of it you actually have, you'll start to actually see results compared to your peers that don't view it this way. You'll have no competition, guys. I promise you. Whatever it is that you put your head to, if you have a sense of urgency and you just are okay being a little bit uncomfortable, you will get ahead. With every cell in my body, I believe that there is so little competition nowadays. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier, this idea of comfortable nature that everybody has. If you have a sense of urgency, you've already won, because you have actually realized and come to the conclusion that life is short. And as a result, you will take the right steps to make sure that you maximize every single bit of it. And so this message is to motivate you. This message is to make sure that all of you are on your right path, and for all of you that just need a reminder, because sometimes we need that. And I needed that this video. And so I really hope I was able to convey that message very clear, that all of you can achieve your goals. All of you can have everything you want. You just gotta want it a little harder. So God bless all of you. Take care. See you.